Alright, hello everyone. Today we're going to be covering the Apex Legends patch notes. So, I actually have this on my phone, and this is a very easy way to record it, I guess. So yeah, we're going to go through everything. There's quite a lot, in fact, and I just scrolled down and realised how long the page was, so I haven't actually seen any of this yet, but let's go over it. So the Ashe trailer, the Meet Ashe trailer did come out today. It was actually one of the fucking coolest trailers I've seen in a while for a new legend. So definitely do watch that. You get a bit more context. So we've got new legend, a new legend with a familiar face. Ashe has overseen the arenas from the shadows and held a tight grip on Pathfinder's heart. A simulacrum made from the woman who once was Dr. Ashley Reed, Ashe is determined to eliminate every trace of weakness that held her back as a human, detecting death wherever she goes, spearing enemies with electrical snares that lock them into place, tearing through space to take more lives. It would be easy to think that there was nothing human left within that cold steel, but a trace of the human doctor remains, and she poses a greater threat to Ashe than any legend in the ring. So we have the passive. These are all shown in the trailer, so I mean, I can obviously talk about them right now, I guess. But I would highly suggest that you guys watch the trailer. It was really cool. So we got the passive, Marked for Death. Ashe's map shows the location of recent death boxes. She gets a special prompt on a death box. Use it to mark surviving attackers, once per box. The tactical is Arc Snare. Throw a spinning snare that damages and tethers the first enemy that gets too close. Essentially, if you haven't seen the trailers recently, you basically throw this little thing in the ground, and it kind of pulls the person. Well, not really pulls the person. It kind of keeps the person within a radius around of the thing thrown if they get stuck in it. So essentially it's like a little trap. They can't really get out of it, but it only lasts a couple seconds though, so you're basically stuck for about a second or two, and then you're out. So it is actually sometimes can be pretty good, like, to use, but in some cases it's kind of pointless. So, you know, that's kind of what it is. Ultimate Phase Breach. Tear open a one-way portal to a target location. This portal stays open for a short time, during which anyone can use it. Now, in previous videos that I've covered on this kind of ultimate, people are saying that Wraith is just not going to be used, which is just not the case. To summarise my opinions, essentially Wraith can be more accurate with repositioning, for example, whilst Ashe is more like, oh, just pull onto the enemy, and then if anything goes bad, you can't really take the pull back type of thing. So it's very much like Octane's jump pad. It's just in a portal format. Whilst Wraith, you can get into the position and cut off lines of sight, which is exceptionally good in ranked. So that's kind of the difference. I wouldn't say Wraith is useless now. I mean, definitely fucking not. She's definitely going to be used still. This is just kind of an Octane Wraith combo, I'd say, in that ability. So then we've got the new map, Stormpoint. This beautiful oasis was once an energy colony for the IMC, and ruins remain. Many have tried to make a home here, and all have failed. A survey of the area revealed the remains of 3 unique settlements built across these centuries, but no survivors. The colony lay abandoned, only visited by the occasional pirate or castaway. Now the mercenary syndicate has plans of their own for Stormpoint. So just like all the other maps, they basically just eventually become like maps that, you know, the people in the Apex games can essentially just play. That's kind of the overall backstory of it. So just pristine waters, whatever. It's kind of got like a dangerous kind of feel to the map, despite looking so pleasant. You know what I mean? So Battle Royale map rotation. So for the Escape update, the map rotation will be back down to 2 maps, Stormpoint and World's Edge. Very good choice, because them are probably the 2 best maps. Not many people like Kings Canyon, to be fair. I mean, I do know some people who like enjoy it. I'm currently enjoying it, actually, right now, playing Valkyrie. But that's literally the only reason why. And not, I mean, loads of people like Olympus because it looks nice, but how it actually plays, it's very repetitive. It always kind of ends towards the centre. So I understand why they didn't choose Olympus to be the other map of this season. It makes a lot of sense that Stormpoint and World's Edge are the 2 maps. Absolutely love that. So, yeah, that's that. Arenas map rotation. Encore, stuff I don't really care about. New weapon, 𝗏SMG. When you're in a precarious place, you need a dangerous, flexible weapon. Meet the 𝗏SMG. The Combat Advanced Round Submachine Gun, I guess that's what it's called then, is a fully automatic weapon that takes adaptability to the next level by accepting either light or heavy mags. The car hits hard but handles light. That's nice. That's a nice way to put it. The hybrid weapons, the best of both worlds. I think it's supposed to be worlds. For when you're ready to take a stand and become the most dangerous thing on the island. So ranked updates. So there's a lot of this. So I'm probably gonna. I don't know whether to cover it in a different video or just record it now. Or maybe I'll just record it now. Hello Legends. Let's take a quick look at how the ranked in emergency. Okay, so essentially. Yeah, so they're gonna try and make it so ranked is more attractive to like mid-tier people, you know what I mean, who play the game. So fix an issue where expired Skydive trails remain accessible for longer than they should have. Okay, right, cool. So escape. So skill in Apex can be evaluated in all sorts of ways. In the amalgamation of gun skill, movement, positioning, awareness, legend mastery, and prevailing over everyone else as the champion. That separates the lowly bronze from the Apex predators. With that in mind, we want to provide more flexibility and nuance to how players can express skill when RP gains are at stake. Before escape, measurements have been simple and straightforward. We grant RP based on kill points and a placement multiplier. Now we're easing back on some RP restrictions to offer other routes to max out kill related RP in a match. So too long don't read, just give me the summary. So yeah, I'll just do the summary and then I'll read I'll kind of show the rest after. I think that's probably the best way to do it because I don't really want to keep everyone waiting. Anyway, so kill RP values will now take differences between killer and victim rank tiers into account. That's very key, by the way, because to actually have a ranked system, in a lot of other games, they do take in the rank of the enemy. So if you kill someone who's like a very high tier, you get more of a reward from that. And if you kill someone who is not particularly that good, then you get less reward. Because it's kind of just a base system right now currently. It's just you get this much points for that much. Now making it complicated could make things complicated on how to actually get to the next tier. How do you know that you killed someone really good? How are you going to ensure that you do that? So it might not make it a little bit complicated. Maybe there's more of an addition of RP to get, but we'll see how it works. So the kill RP cap, as we traditionally thought about up to this point, is effectively being raised from 6 to 7. So before it was 5, then they raised it to 6, I believe in season 9, and then raised it again to 7. However, this kill-related RP cap can be reached in different ways depending on tier differences and placement. Placement is still paramount, and you still must place first to have a chance at max total RP. So essentially, right, okay, so for the first point, I kind of want to go into this a little bit. So if a plat player kills a diamond player, that counts as 12 instead of 10. Alright, so there we go, you can see how that kind of works there. So this is going to very much complicate stuff because you can't really see exactly how to get all the RP possible, but it very much makes a flexible system, where you have to think about it mid-game, go, oh, that's how much points I need to get. You kind of need to tally it up in-game rather than looking at what position you're on in the game and going, okay, well, I'm probably positive then, and then seeing that you're positive. So it does allow for a better play style for the people who actually are good at the game to get more rewards, I guess. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. So, after tier differences around flat per kill bonuses added to the placement. So, okay, right, I see. So, right, so instead of kills being made as almost like a multiplier of some sort, it's actually going to just be base points. Doesn't matter how many, what position you have with the kills, you're just going to get, I'm assuming, kill points, and then later on, they'll just not really count, maybe? I don't know. I don't know how that really works. Anyway, we'll see how it works. I'm assuming it's going to be explained. Oh, here we go. Tier Delta, whatever the hell that is. So I'm just going to keep that up right there, guys. I mean, it seems very much similar to what was before, but bonus RP. Oh, I see now. I see. So you get like more and more RP based on how. Okay, so kills are like less important. It seems like it doesn't seem like kills are as important. So that's all right then. So we've got ranked arenas. I don't really care that much about this, so I'm just gonna like kind of scroll through. So there we go. We'll have Watson. Move aside, Ash. This is Watson's season. We're ecstatic to finally share some long-anticipated Watson improvements. Her win rate and encounter win rate have always been above average. This could be for a multitude of reasons. Her defensive playstyle correlates. Fucking hell, there's a lot of reading here. To high average placements, Watson mains are die-hard loyalists, and her hitbox has been the smallest in the game ever since the Lifeline's adjustment. I did not know that. Regardless, much of her high-level data that we've shared does not match perception. Play a few games with Watson, you'll often find yourself wanting more out of her kit. Very true. The goal of these changes is to redistribute her invisible power into the parts of the kit that shape the battlefield in a unique way. We want to see what changes could spark more consistency and efficiency in her kit, and ideally ground some of the difficulties surrounding the way of her abilities work. We want to enable more active gameplay from Watson players by smoothing out the rough edges and placing fences. Responsiveness tweaks, longer range, faster cooldowns mean Watson can do much more quickly and reliably set up a defensive position, or even use her fences and pylon in the midst of open combat in a pinch. So yeah, very good. So general. So yeah, I believe they're going to be probably up in the hitbox, which makes sense. Very much needed. So improve reliability and responsiveness of placing Watson's tactical and ultimate in world objects. Okay, so I guess that's more of a bug fix. Watson can place her tactical ultimate objects on valid surfaces above Watson's eye level. So, okay, that's actually pretty good, because I know that 𝗏𝘂𝗁𝘂 can throw gas traps pretty high. So that's nice that Watson can kind of do the same thing with, like, placing a thing above her, maybe. Not many situations where that's needed, I guess, but I mean, maybe in this new map, we might have some places above you that you might want to, defend from. So, general hitbox size increased to compensate for the removal of low profile in the Legacy update. So, yeah, obviously her low profile got removed, so they're going to do that same thing again. They've done it with the other legends that had low profile. Remove low profile, make the legend bigger. For the hitbox, it makes sense. Don't start criticizing them about this nerf. It makes sense. They did it for everyone. Low profile is not a good thing to have in the game, so it makes sense to nerf her, but buffer in the same way there. So, tactical perimeter defense. Increased damage of crossing a fence by 33%. So it's now 20 damage. That's a lot of damage just from that. That's like one fuse cluster grenade in one tick of that fence. That's actually pretty good. Increased debuff duration on crossing a fence by 100%. Don't know what the fuck that means, but okay. So I'm assuming that's like how long between the 20 damage hits, I think, maybe. So that's pretty quick, honestly, maybe. I don't know what that is. Anyway, increase the time allowance to be hit again by a subsequent fence effect by 100%. Don't know what the hell that means. Decrease recharge time by 50%. That's really good, because I remember it used to be 30 seconds. So essentially you can create one fence in 30 seconds. Which people might think, oh, that's still pretty high. But really, think about it, you're still kind of having a lot of use out of that. I mean, you pretty much... How long was it before? Like 2 minutes to get 4 fences before? Now it's just a minute. So if you just spend a minute running around the map, basically enough time for like 1 octane jump pad or something, you can make a pretty good defense setup. So I like that change. It's a pretty good change. I think it's good balance, Increased placement range by 50%. So that's actually really good. So you can put defenses further away from one another, have a much bigger defensive area. Decrease the delay between fences shutting off and reactivating after an ally passes through them by 60%. So it's way quicker. So that's really good, because there's been countless times when I've used Watson and the allies just stepped on a fence by mistake and the enemies just walked straight in. So yeah, that has actually happened quite a lot. So Watson now moves at unarmed speed while readying placing fence nodes. So I'm assuming it's just faster now when placing nodes. So it actually has more of a skill ceiling, I guess, maybe. Maybe, I don't know. Fence nodes can now be placed as soon as the weapon is readied, instead of waiting for the animation to finish. That is really good as well. So it's very usable. So the pylon output has been significantly reworked, reducing the number of active pylons from 3 to 1. Great! Oh, that's great. The pylon now lasts forever. That is very good. I remember what Watson used to be like back in like season 4 or something like that. She was in competitive all over the place because you could put down your little defense thing, your little pylon, and it would last forever. You could put loads and loads and loads of stuff down, so you have a very defensive location, which now she's got that again. And I think it was a very good defensive meta that was there. I liked that meta quite a lot, because although you couldn't destroy a lot of the stuff because, you know, your grenades will get absorbed and all that, there are a lot of legends that can get high ground. So a lot of legends can push you from different ways now. So honestly, it makes a lot of sense to have this back in the game, because a lot of defense legends in the game currently are very underrated, because their abilities can't be used to counter the legends that get repositioning and positioning effectively. So I like how Watson has these things again that what she had before, but now implemented back into the game, because the game has changed. It's changed in a completely different way. So the pylon now has a pool of 250 shields that can be distributed to nearby players, instead of effectively infinite shields. So what's that supposed to mean? 250 shields. Don't know what the hell that's supposed to mean. I mean, so does it have a certain amount, like a lifeline drone? Like it has a certain amount of health that it'll give out? Maybe. I mean, I don't really know if I like that change. I think I like the fact that it's like stationary. It sits there until you need it. But I think that is also pretty good, because if they have if they have improved the cooldown for Watson's ultimate, then that'll be really good as well, because then you might get another ultimate by the time that the last one's depleted. So yeah, maybe this might work out. So increase the pylon shield recharge rate by 150% and smooth regen rate. So 2 a second to 5 a second, or more accurately 1 over 0.5 seconds. What? Okay, so essentially 0.5 health. I don't know. Okay, so 2 health a second to 5 health a second. So yeah, so you get shield way faster as well, which is actually really good now. So when a pylon is out of shields, it no longer recharges their shield, but there's still zap incoming. Oh, okay. That actually is really good, in fact. That's actually, I understand that now. Okay, I've processed that now. So the pylon has a certain amount of shield that I'll have. So the actual shield part of it isn't infinite. So you can't defend an area infinitely and get loads of shield out of it. That was probably the OP thing about it, when it used to be infinite. But now it has a certain amount of shield, but it infinitely destroys the grenades that come in. Which I actually like that. I think that's a pretty good change. I think that's a very good balancing change to make it so Watson can be very much playable in one area and defend that area. Plus as well, when you have that ultimate down, you're already going to be charging your next ultimate, so you can still defend that area. And when the shield thing is off, when you no longer get any shields, you're still going to be defending pretty decently, because grenades will get destroyed until you get another ultimate at which you get the shields back. So that is actually really good. I think that's a nice little balance change from what I had before. They've definitely thought about that. Taking damage while regenerating shields via the pylon delays continued regeneration by 1 second. Alright, I guess this is a balance change. The UI on the ground and HUD elements now display the amount of shields that remain in the pylon. That makes a lot of sense. Yes, okay. Pinging a friendly pylon will now display the percentage of shields remaining in the pylon. Okay. Pylon ordnance zapping has been moderately worked. Ordnance is now zapped by the pylon detects. What is that? When the pylon detects that it would hit any surface within the range and line of sight of the pylon, instead of being zapped as soon as it comes within range. As part of the changes, current issues with where the pylon doesn't reliably zap ordnance. Okay, I think that's just bug changes, I think. So supply drop rotation. So the triple take returns to the floor, and in its place the G7 Scout. And it has the double tap trigger equipped as well off a previous season. So hop-ups, dual shell for the Mastiff and 30-30 repeater. So each round where you reload, it's doubled. So instead of you reloading one bullet at a time in the Mastiff or 30-30, you reload two, which is actually essentially like a magazine, you know, where you reload faster or whatever. I don't know. So fully kitted rotation, I don't really care about that, honestly. So obviously the core SMG's in the game now. So EVA 8, so fire rate reduced from 2.1 to 2. Peacekeeper, increased pellet size. Choke time reduced from 1.5 to 1.25 seconds. So I guess the Peacekeeper's better now. Choked up shots remain tight for slightly longer when exiting aim down sights. So Peacekeeper's literally insane. In the past, we've swung a little too hard. So, I mean, Peacekeeper was still really, really good this season, so I don't know why they've done that. I don't know. I mean, where's the Mastiff buff? Is that a buff? Increase the pellet size. I don't know why they've done that. Okay, right. So, damage reduced from 60 to 55 for the longbow. That makes a lot of sense because the longbow shoots faster than the bow check. And yet does the same amount of damage, which honestly for me didn't make much sense. Essentially, it just took everything in the bow check and just put it into a sniper. So I'm glad that it's put back down to 55. Now people know that the longbow is good, so maybe they'll still fucking use it after it's got nerfed from previously getting buffed. So it's back down to where it was before. So maybe people actually start using the weapon now, and maybe they don't have to buff it. So, okay, right, there we go. L-Star, reduced barrel effectiveness at all rarity tiers, significantly reduced projectile collision size, damage reduced from 18 to 17, because the L-Star is still insane. Okay, so the G7 Scout is in the care pack now, so the damage is increased from 34 to 36, and the double tap is applied. So, it doesn't seem like it's faster though. It seems like the G7 is going to just be, yeah, to be honest, I'm not going to pick up the G7 out of the care pack. I would rather have the triple take. Because the G7 in Season 3, if you guys remember, was way faster fire rate-wise. I believe it done 36 damage as well, rather than 34. And it could put the 4 to 10 times on it as well, like the sniper rifle sight. So it's kind of annoying that now the G7's a marksman rifle and it's in the care pack, and it could have had all the sniper rifle sights and stuff on it. So I wouldn't be using it, honestly. Just a little buff in damage and the double tap application on it doesn't really entice me, to be honest. It doesn't really, I'm not really excited about that, honestly. So I'm not going to be using it, but that's just me. So supply drop weapon rate. So early game crate weapon is increased from 25 to 50. That's really good. Mid game is 50 to 75, and late game is 100%. That's really good. So now essentially you're going to get more supply drops, which makes a lot of sense because there's 4 in the game. Essentially, you never really get them at the mid game. Well, at the early game, sorry. You never really get like weapons in the care packs at early game, which is extremely annoying when, you know, there's 4 weapons in the game that are just hidden behind them little crates. So yeah, I'm assuming that's what that dev note is about. Hot zone gold loot rates. Increase the amount of gold loot that spawns in hot zones. Very cool. Creates more of an incentive to go to hot zones. So crafting, light ammo is 20 to 60. Oh, okay. Right, so you get more ammo. You get 3 times the amount of ammo for crafting as well. So essentially you don't have to like spam crafting at the crafting machine. That's very good. I like that a lot. You just kind of get a stack and you're gone, you know. But the price is increased by double. So you actually get more for your money now, which is good. Evo armor points from crafting increased from 100 to 150. So that gives more of an incentive to get that as well, because not many people use that. And Evo armor points cost increased from 45 to 50. So it's just a tiny bit more to pay for getting that 150, which is actually really good. Replace the sniper bundle with a shotgun bundle featuring the dual shell. Okay, whatever that means. Enemy NPC updates. Prowler health across the game has gone up from 90 to 114. Okay, so that's obviously due to, you know, Storm Point being added. So Prowlers on World's Edge and Flyers on King's Canyon will now reward Evo points as well. So because they're adding that feature to the normal Storm Point, they're going to add it to other things as well. So makes a lot of sense. And then we've got arenas, so I'll just scroll through this because it's a lot of stuff that a lot of people don't care about. Quality of life, UI, teammates will now show that they are self-reviving on their in-world game tags. Added VO, visual effects, I think, for players to communicate that they're out of ammo. Alright, okay. Update the arena map rotation images to show up to 5 maps. Update social awareness badges to unlock as default for all accounts. Okay, I've heard about that, and there's a lot of bug fixes here as well, which that might bring us to the end, maybe. Yeah, it does. So it seems like there's literally only one. There's only one? Let's have a look. Yeah, there was only one legend balancing thing, balance change, which was just for Watson. And that kind of annoys us a little bit because, I mean, crypto's still very underpowered. So we'll see what they do with crypto. It might be a mid-season update. So you crypto mains, keep a lookout. You might see a buff for crypto. But as for now, that seems like everything right there. So yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. I know it's a very long one, but I kind of wanted to cover everything in one video so you guys aren't missing anything out. And hopefully my talking for the last 25 minutes wasn't boring. But that should be everything. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next video.